So it's 12:30, let's come down to the mat. Hopefully you can all see me. I'll try and arrange my camera in such a position that you can see the whole mat, but I keep moving rooms as well, so that doesn't help matters. And I think I'll stay here for now, in the front room, in the living room. It seems quite more spacious and everyone's gone back to work now, so it's all good. Got a bit of space and quiet. Okay, so we're going to just settle down and just let our spine just soften down into the mat. Hopefully you have a nice soft floor to lay on and nothing too hard. But if you obviously do feel any kind of pain or, you know, discomfort from a hard floor, then just roll up a towel or put something like that under your back, because this is where we're going to spend a lot of our time in this position. And so our pelvis and most of our spine is touching the mat. Definitely the pelvis, that's the heaviest part. So let's just take a couple of deep breaths and just try and relax the ribs and soften the ribs down into the mat also. So inhaling through the nose and out through the mouth. One more time, big inhale into the ribs, inhale, feel the ribs expand outwards. You can even put your hands onto your ribs. Feel them expand outwards, and then as you exhale, feel them shrink down and just draw closer together into the midline of your body. And we'll do that one more time. Just as we take the inhale, I want you to feel the whole of your middle body expand. And then as you exhale, try and lift your belly in and up as you do it and draw everything into the center of the body. So let's use the belly button as the center of the body. Pretty much is. So let's just imagine all of the strength coming back to that point. Then relaxing the arms down, we're just going to start off with some knee drops. So just a simple knee opening to the side, but keeping the pelvis really still. So lift the belly in and up, keep the pelvis relaxed so it's not pushed into the floor, the lower back's not pushed into the floor, and the lower back is not arched away from the floor. So it's somewhere in between those two positions with no muscular tension to hold it in place. Okay, so we're going to start off with this front leg. We're just going to inhale and just drop the knee open, turning on the foot. And then as you exhale, just pull the knee back, using your exhale and those belly muscles to pull the leg back. Let's take it over to the other side. So inhale, open the leg. Doesn't have to reach the floor, that knee, and then exhale it back. But as you're doing this, we're going to keep alternating. As you're doing this, I just want you to focus on the knee that's left behind and make sure it also doesn't drop out. Yeah, so keep it still. And exhale back. Inhale, open. Exhale back. Let's keep doing this just to really stabilize the pelvis and wake up these lower belly muscles nice and gently, yeah? So you might not be opening your knee quite as much as me, and that doesn't matter. All you kind of really need to know is that you're waking up these muscles, and if you feel a bit of shaking in your inner thighs, that's a good thing, okay? So that means that those inner thigh muscles are getting stronger, and they're connected to the deep stabilizing muscles as well. So they're all working together to draw your leg back to center. Let's just do one more each side. Keep the rest of the body really relaxed. Just thinking about drawing that inner thigh muscle back to the center. One more time. Inhale out. Exhale back. Good. Now we're going to do some leg slides. So we're going to take the left leg away on an inhale, and then slide it back on an exhale. Now you might need to lift your heel. Let's alternate and go right leg now. You might need to lift your heel slightly so that you don't kind of stick to the mat or whatever you're doing your Pilates on. Keep alternating left side this time. And if you want to make it a little bit more challenging, you can stretch that leg out and just keep the heel off of the floor, just half an inch off of the floor, and then bring it back in. So as you stretch out, inhaling, I want you to try and flex your foot and bring your toes back towards your shin. And then as you exhale, bring that leg back in, relax the foot. Keep it going. Right leg, inhale, exhale. So as you reach that leg away, you might feel a little stretch on your hip as well, the front of your hip. That's good. We want that to happen. Because these muscles get quite tight, so we want to stretch them out. Flex the foot. Exhale back. Let's just do one more each side. Left leg, inhale, reach away, flex. Exhale, draw back in through your lower belly. Lift your belly in and up. Inhale, reach out with that right leg, flex, and then bring it back in. Good. Now we're going to do our toe taps. So we have two options. We're going to just lift the left leg up and just use the left leg, taking it up and down. and you might not take it all the way to the floor if it's making your lower back arch away from the floor. So you can do this single leg, or you can lift up the left leg and the right leg, then take the left leg down and the right leg down. Now do this really slowly with control, guys, no rushing. If bringing both legs off of the floor is causing any lower back issues, just stick with this left leg, do this 8 times, and then move over to the right leg. But make sure you're not straightening and bending the leg. The leg stays locked in this position. My knee's not moved. That angle's not changed the whole way through. So it's going to work more into the lower abdominals, okay? I'm going to go back to that alternating move. So one leg comes up, the other leg joins it, the first leg comes down, the second leg comes down. Try and keep your shoulders relaxed as you're doing this. Sometimes they kind of want to lift up to help. Keep them down and soft. Okay, so if you're doing the double leg, we're going to just do 2 more. And then if you're doing the single leg, hopefully you're counting roughly. You want to do roughly the same on each side. If you go over 8, it doesn't matter. One last time. Lifting up and up and down and down. Good. Give the legs a little shake. Maybe take the feet out to the width of your mat and then just drop the legs over to the left side, keeping the knees wide, and then over to the right. One more time each side. So just sway, really small movements. You don't have to force the knees to the floor. If they happen to find the floor, that's great. If they don't, no matter. Okay, bring the feet back to hip distance. Now we're going to bring the feet closer to the bottom so the feet are almost underneath the knees. And so that you can touch the back of your heels. We're going to do a few shoulder bridges now. So first off, let's just check in with the pelvis. Just tuck the pelvis forward and back, keeping the bottom on the floor for now. Just see how the low back feels. And if it feels okay and it's kind of happy to do the next part of the exercise, we're going to slowly start to peel the lower back off of the floor and just slowly pushing those hips up. So your arms are going to be down by the side of you, and you're going to use your upper arms to push yourself up so that you're using your shoulder muscles as well. Okay, so once you're up there, you're going to take a nice big inhale through the nose, and then as you exhale through your mouth, you're slowly going to let the body come back down the same way it went up there. So upper back first, and then through the vertebrae, one section at a time. So this is slow and controlled. And you might feel that there's some kind of sticky parts of your back that don't really want to release quite so easily. So because we all have those, we're going to do this 2 more times. Okay, nice and slowly. Exhaling, slowly peeling away from the floor. Pelvis first, and then the rest of the spine follows. Once you're at the top, use your upper arms, press your palms down, inhale. And then on your next exhale, when that naturally happens, just let the spine just soften all the way down. If you run out of exhale, you can always take an inhale again and then exhale to carry on that descent. Super slow, really controlled. This is so good for our backs, guys. Even if it does cause a little bit of discomfort, as long as it's not sharp pain, good to keep going. Let's do 1 more. Exhale and lift up. Use your arms, use your shoulders. So you're naturally going to squeeze the back of your body anyway. You don't have to think about doing it. It just happens. And then take that inhale at the top. And then slowly melt down on that last exhale. Bringing in those lovely stretched out vertebrae. We've created a little bit of space in between each one, hopefully. And the tailbone comes down, and then we can relax. Okay, let's hug in our left knee towards the chest. Now you can stretch your right leg away, and if you do that now and it feels uncomfortable for any reason, then just bring the knee back up, okay? So try it and see how it feels. If it feels like your leg's really highly lifted off of the floor and your pelvis is kind of tilted upwards, then just keep the leg bent. So we're going to go straight into our single leg circle. Now I want you to flex, if you have your right leg stretched out, flex the foot and push your heel down into the floor. And then we're going to bring that leg back to our tabletop position, that perfect 90-degree angle, or thereabouts, might be 91, behind the knee. And then just rest the arms down. Now lift the belly in and up to really stabilize your torso, so your abdominals and your pelvis. And then we're just going to circle with the leg. So we're taking the leg out to the side, across the body and back. Start small And then if it feels really stable and you feel really strong and connected, then you can go a little bit bigger. So leg down and out. Again, we're not bending and straightening the leg, we're keeping it fixed as if this leg is stuck at 90 degrees. So we're just taking that knee around in a circle, big or small. So we've done 3, we're going to do 2 more in this direction. Keep flexing the foot, the right foot, if you have a stretched out leg. If your leg is bent, you can just relax the leg, okay? So just make sure that the right hip is not moving. Imagine you have a seatbelt across your hips and it's keeping you really still. I'm feeling some shaking going on. I don't know about you guys. Feeling in my abdominals, that's where you should be feeling it, but you might feel it a bit in your hips if you're quite tight in your hips. And then let's go the other way. So we're going to take it in the other direction for 1. And 2. I'm going to stretch my leg out because I just find it more comfortable. 3. So every repetition we come back to the start point, we don't just follow around using momentum to help us. We're going to use our bodies to get stronger. Yeah, let's do 1 more for luck. Might be 6, but it doesn't matter. And then just rest that leg down. Okay, let's swap legs. So we're going to hug the right leg in. You can stretch the left leg out if you want to as well. So we're just hugging that leg in just to loosen up around the hip a little bit. But if it feels like your hip kind of hikes up when you do that, then just try and make sure you level out your hips before you start your circles, because you don't want to be strengthening in a slightly kind of off-center position. So just check in with your hips and then come to that bent knee position. We're all going to do it with bent knees. Same thing. You can do it with a straight leg, but we're going to all do this version today. So we're going to take that leg out and across and then stop. Now, other side of the body may well be different. It probably will be different. It will feel different. So make the first couple of circles small. And then if you feel like you can go bigger, make sure you're pressing down on your arms as well, drawing that belly in and up, flexing the left foot. There's so much to think about. Good. And 2 more. So I can tell there's something going on with my right hip at the moment. And I can tell because it's not happy doing this. So it's not as happy as it normally is. And I said at the start of the class, my back was a bit stiff. Well, that's why I think. Found the culprit. Okay, we're going to go the other way. But doing this will help. So I should feel better after this. And if any of you guys have got any little niggles, then generally you feel better after Pilates. You shouldn't feel worse. So just take it easy. Like I said, connect to your body. Just feel what your body's ready to do. And make sure you're lifting that belly in and up to stabilize everything in your center. Last circle. And then bring that foot down. Then the other foot in, give the legs a shake. Okay, we're going to turn either onto our side and come up to seated or roll up to seated, holding behind the legs. And just come up to a seated position. So we're going to do a couple of roll downs, but we're going to start off with half roll backs. Okay, so we're going to do the half roll backs first, and then if you know that you struggle with a full roll up and down, then you can stick with the half roll backs. Okay, so let's start off with our legs in a comfortable position. So your feet may be further away than mine are. You just want to feel that you can have a straight spine. So if you need to straighten your legs completely to do that, or bend your knees more to do that, then that's fine. Okay, we're all going to hold on to the back of our thighs for a start. And then we're going to sit really tall. So get as straight as you can through the spine. Sit right on top of your sit bones and lengthen the crown of your head up to the ceiling. Hopefully my head's still in shot yet. Okay, so we're going to exhale and just roll back by tucking the pelvis and letting the spine round, yeah? I'm just going to move my feet in a little bit more, otherwise I can't roll back. So we're going to go about halfway, maybe a third of the way. Now keeping that scoop shape in the belly, we're going to inhale. And then as we exhale, we keep the rounded shape as we roll back. Use your hands, shoulders come over the hips, and then we straighten nice and tall. Yeah, so let's look at the shape of our, hopefully you can see yourselves. I'm not sure if you can because everyone's different, but exhale and around the lower back, tuck the pelvis. So that's the key. And then we're rounding our whole back. Now try not to let the head come too far forward. I want to keep the spine and the neck in a nice kind of circular pattern. Inhale back there. Keep that scoop in the belly. That's the key part. As you roll back up with an exhale and then shoulders over hips, we straighten the spine. If you want to challenge yourself a bit more, take the arms away from the legs. We're going to exhale and roll back. Exactly the same thing. Just keep it simple. Keep it simple and slow. So you might come back a little bit lower, but if it's causing any issues in your low back, just stay a little bit higher, okay? Keep that nice scoop in the low belly. Inhale. And exhale with that rounded spine so the shoulders are over the hips again and straighten. Now I'm going to give you an option to add in an arm movement if you want it, or you can just do this. So you stay with holding onto your thighs or hands away from your thighs, and then you have this arm option if you want it. So you're going to have left arm reaching up and slowly coming down. Keep breathing naturally and normally here. If you're not doing the arm movement, just hold in that scoop position. We're not here for too much longer. We've got one more arm each side. I'm shaking, I don't know about you. Woo, shaky out. Okay, and then keep that rounded spine as we roll all the way back up. Now that's our half roll back. Now we're going to reach the legs longer and see if we can roll all the way down, all the way up again twice. Okay, so sit really tall. And then the same thing. Draw the low belly in as you exhale. This time if your legs are straight and you're coming all the way down, just try and squeeze them together. Try and relax the shoulders away from your ears. And then reach all the way back. Hopefully you have space to reach your arms back behind you. If you haven't, just improvise. And then we reach up on an inhale. Exhale, look at your toes. Squeeze your legs, squeeze your glutes. And then slowly, with that rounded shape in the spine, come back up. If you need help, hands behind you to slowly assist you. All the way back up. Let's try that one more time. So if you're really struggling and you feel like you have to kind of throw yourself up in the air to come off the floor, just stick with the half rollbacks. Okay, there's always options. No need to rush ahead. Just takes a little bit of practice and time to get stronger, and then you'll be rolling up and down in no time. Let's go again. Exhale, look at feet. Squeeze feet, knees, glutes. Everything into the midline. Draw the belly in and up, and then sit super tall. Good. Now I'm going to just turn around, but you guys can stay the way you are, just so you can see. But I'm only turning around so you can see me sort of head on. Okay, so we're going to take our hands up behind our heads. We're going to do a version of saw. I think we might have done this last week, but I can't remember. I've been teaching so many classes. Okay, so we're going to twist the body from the waist, and then we're going to lean over towards our knee of our elbow. We might not get there. And then this top elbow, I want you to push it back slightly more. And once you feel the stretch in your side waist, that's where you're going to feel it, maybe back of the shoulder or the same side of the waist and lower back. Then you come back up and then twist back to where you started. Yeah, so it's a little spine twist first. Then we lean over, elbow to knee, and then that top elbow opens up a tiny bit more because it's naturally going to fall forward. So we just want to open it up and squeeze the shoulders together. Keep that position as you come back up and then twist to center. Let's go again. Exhale, twist. Keep exhaling. Exhale even more as you open that top elbow. Look up to the ceiling if you can. Keep that lift even as you exhale a tiny bit more, and then inhale back to center. Exhale, twist. Reach, open, come back up, inhale back to center. We've got one more each side. Move slowly. Don't worry if you're not touching your knee with your elbow. It's mainly about this opening of the top elbow. So feel the stretch, but don't go too far. There's no need. One last time. Over, touch, open. Lift with the open chest and back to center. Let's just roll the shoulders a couple of times just to let any tension go that's crept in there. Okay, let's quickly come onto our side and do a little bit of side lying. Now we're not going to be doing any forward and back kicks this time. So I want you to ideally be in a straight line rather than sometimes when we have our feet forward. So you might want to lay out on your arm rather than your head resting on your arm. It does depend on comfort, you know, personal comfort. But everyone's very different. So our legs are in line with our body, and you need to make sure your hips are stacked one on top of the other and you're not kind of leaning backwards or forward. So just make sure that happens first. Squeeze everything. So squeeze your bottom both sides, knees together, ankles together. Now the bottom foot is flexed. That's going to be our anchor, and all we're going to do is just lift up and down. So nice and easy, not too high, maybe about double hip height maximum. But I want you to think about lifting that belly in and up, creating a space underneath your side waist and reaching that top leg away rather than high, yeah? And you can take your top arm up if you want more of a balance challenge. Because we're on one side of the body, we are kind of challenging our balance. If that bottom foot was not flexed and just relaxed, we'd probably fall over. So keep it flexed. And you should start to feel a little bit of warming in this top hip. Okay, keep it going. Let's do 8, 7. So fingers resting in front if you don't want that extra balance challenge, or arm in the air. Good. Exhale as you lift. 2 and 1. Now we're going to keep that leg just above hip height and small circles. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Change direction. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more time each way. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep stretching that leg long. Change one more time. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Legs together now. Back on the floor. Hand resting in front. This is a little bit more challenging on your balance. So hand resting in front first, and then if you find it really easy, you can take your arm up again. So squeeze the legs together and then just float them off the floor a couple of inches. You should be in a nice straight line with your body now, rather than a kind of off-center line with your legs down. So we're activating these muscles here on the top side of the waist, and if you feel them with your fingers now, you should feel a really strong muscular contraction. Good. We're holding here for a couple more seconds. So if you want that extra challenge, take it now. Yes, I can see some arms going up. Perfect. Okay, really squeeze everything into your center. Now we're going to leave the top leg where it is and just lower and lift bottom leg only for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's do one more set. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Amazing. Let the arm come down, just roll onto your front. Almost there. Anyway, so okay, so upper back and a little bit of lower back. Hands are just going to come in line with your, well, your hands are in line with your face, your elbows are in line with your shoulders, and you've got a 90-degree angle with your arm. Okay, so just relax your legs now. Your legs are going to stay down. You are going to lift your belly in and up slightly away from the mat, and you're going to lift your head slightly away from the floor, but keep the neck really long and keep looking down or your eyes closed. If you're not sure what we're doing, I'll just try and explain it to you. So first off, we're just going to lift the head a little bit and squeeze the shoulders together and down, and that's going to lift your upper body up. So only using your upper back muscles, not pushing into your hands, and then lower back down. So keep lifting the belly in and up, squeeze the bottom slightly and push the pubic bone into the floor, and then exhale, squeeze shoulders and just come up to where it naturally feels that you're really activating that upper back. Okay, it's not a huge move, but it's very effective. We're going to do 2 more. Coming up, exhale. So draw those shoulder blades together and down. If you want a little bit more, I'm going to give you an option coming up, or you can stay with this one. Okay, if you want a little bit more, when you're down, you're going to reach your arms forwards, and then as you come up, you pull your elbows back towards your waist, and then you reach forward to lower. So you're exhaling and inhaling to straighten. If that feels too much, just go back to the first version. We've got 4 more. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. This is 3. And 2. Last one coming up. Okay, the last one, we're going to keep our arms back. So for everyone, just take your arms back behind you. Squeeze your shoulder blades, lift your shoulders off the floor and your upper chest. And then we're just going to pulse up and down, just a small amount, maybe ½ an inch. 10, 9, reach fingers back towards toes. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hands come under shoulders. Let's push ourselves back. So lift up and come back into rest position for a second. Stretching into the back, and then we're just going to turn our bodies around and do our leg movements on the other side before we forget we're running out of time. Okay. Keeping an eye on that clock there. Okay, so laying out on your arm, feet together, knees stacked, hips stacked, everything stacked underneath, waist lifted by lifting your belly in and up and activating. And then that bottom foot is flexed. So laying on your arm, if you have room, I've got the sofa in the way, but I'm just going to try and improvise. This top arm comes up, we lift and lower. So stretch the leg as if you're trying to touch whatever's on the opposite side of the wall to you. So I've got another sofa there. I'm going to try and touch that with my toes. Exhale up. Keep reaching. That's going to keep our hips in good alignment. If we let that leg just relax, then our hips are going to sink down and we're just going to strengthen our muscles in the wrong way. We don't want to do that. We want to be nice and strong and aligned, giving our muscles a good chance to keep our spine safe for a long time to come. Keep it going. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We hold it up there. We have those lovely circles, or not so lovely, depending on how you feel about them. 3, 2, and 1. Change direction. And change again. Wrong in my throat again. I have hay fever or something. Okay, and then last change of direction. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we have that double leg lift. I'm just going to bring my hand back just for now, but I'm going to take it back up in a second. This is your option, just light fingers here. Squeeze the feet together, squeeze the knees together, and the legs just float off the floor to give you a perfectly straight body line. And then if you want that arm up, take it. We hold here for a little bit longer. And then we have that lift and lower with the bottom leg coming up, so getting ready for that. We keep the top leg where it is. It's time to wake up those inner thighs. Let's lift and lower for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's do one more set of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rest it down. Turn over onto your front. This time I'm going to come up to all fours. So just lift your body up. Knees under hips. We have about 3 minutes left. So knees under hips, hands under shoulders. Let's do some nice strengthening for our back body again. So challenge for you today. I'm sure you've all done this 4-point kneeling movement. So we're going to do it with our eyes closed. And we're going to feel the movement. So I want you to just soften the elbows slightly. Spread the fingers really wide. So you've got a lovely strong stable base. Lift the head up and make sure your head stays in this position rather than this, which I see quite a lot in classes. The head's heavy, so it does drop down, but if you hold it up, we're going to keep the neck really safe. Okay, we're going to stretch left leg, right arm, along the floor first. Close the eyes, lift the belly in and up. Feeling strong and stable, you're going to lift your arm and leg just to the line of the body and hold. Keep the eyes closed and just notice where you're feeling this, okay? Notice which muscles are working and which maybe not working as hard. Just feel the side of the body which is activated. Notice where it is. It's usually around your abdominals, maybe a bit of the back body too. And then slowly lower down and bring everything back underneath. So knee back to where it was, hip distance. Don't let the knees come together. And then stretch right leg, left arm. So shoulder and pelvis stays exactly the same all the way through. Once you've found that stability, lift belly in and up. Squeeze the bottom a little bit as well, and then float arm and leg. They might not even come up in line with the body, and that's okay. Better to be lower than too high. So keep holding, keep breathing. Keep stretching the leg long. We don't want any bend behind the knee. And then slowly come back. Let's do that one more time, each side. So left leg, right arm. Find stability. Only lift when you have that stability. So if you had a plank of wood on your back, just think of all the points of your body that would touch it. So the back of your head, your spine, because it's nice and straight, your hips, lower down slowly. Let's take it over to the final side. So really make this one count, guys. All these ones towards the end where you're getting tired always count. So they're the ones where we make our changes. So lift up again, hold. Let's hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Good, let's bring those knees back underneath our hips and take a little stretch for the spine. So we're going to exhale around the spine, drop the head, tuck the pelvis. Just shake the head, just to release the neck. Inhale, take it the other way. So lift head up, drop belly down, arch back. One more time each way. Exhale. And inhale. And now lift the belly in and up. Bring the spine to a straight position. And then just sit back onto your heels by keeping your belly in and up. Yeah, so we're not collapsing down on the floor. And then just walk the fingertips away as far as you can without lifting your shoulders to your ears. So shoulders down for stretch arms. Then we're going to walk over to the right with the hands. Feel the stretch on the left side. Good. And then slowly walk back to center with the hands and then over to the left. Good. Coming back to center. Let's just let the spine relax now. Lift the belly in and up and just slowly uncurl the spine, bringing the head up last. Once your head comes back on top of your shoulders, let's roll the shoulders 3 times, up, back and down. Give the arms a shake. And we're done. We're out of time. Lovely to see you all. Hopefully you enjoyed the class. Let me know if you've got any comments or questions before we go. But see you all again next time. Thanks for joining in. See you on another Our Parks and Roehampton Uni class soon.